Good morning, everyone. This is Bremster, and I am returning to Satisfactory, and it's only this morning that I played session 10, but I'm planning on playing a little bit more. It's a few hours ago. So I've built the space elevator. I've done almost nothing more. I think the last thing I did was I loaded the materials up to be able to try and finish off these. But one of the things that I do want to do, and I don't know if I've got the tickets, I've got 3 tickets on me, is I want to see, I've got 1 coupon I can grab. I want to see if I can purchase the ability. I was thinking about this. I think it's foundations. The half foundation set I can afford. So I'm going to add this to the cart and I'm going to buy it. Because I think with this, if I've got the ability,
probably a bit lower,
to build half foundations, what I want to do is while this is creating, oh, I can see a yellow power slug over there. I'm going to go get the yellow power slug. Which has possibly been there the whole time. Ooh, that's in a... Is that a toxic area? I may not be getting that yellow power slug. I'm going to ignore that yellow power slug. What I'm going to do is I'm heading over to the Caterium area. Now, I can't actually mine the Caterium, but I can start preparing to be able to mine the Caterium. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to start building a base a gathering base over here. Now, this is where it is. Now, there's some stuff in the way here, but that's okay. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to remove some of this, because I don't need the ramp anymore, because I can potentially build foundations. I want a 4-meter foundation, which is there. I can build that there, and then I can come in here and I can build a ladder there, which allows me to get up here without a ramp. So now I can disassemble all of that, because what I want to do, if I equip the chainsaw, do I have any... I don't have any fuel. Okay, so what we want to do is gather all the leaves and stuff. Then I build a crafting bench, because I got this wrong. At the crafting bench, I turn leaves into biomass. I turn wood into biomass, and I turn those into solid biofuel, which is a terrible way of doing it, but it gives me the solid biofuel that I need. Because the plan here is, even though I can't build the mining extractor yet, I can prepare for the mining extractor. So I'm going to clear out this area. So working on the assumption that I am going to build this up. What I want to do is build foundations here that I can have a storage. So I want to build foundations, probably 2 meter foundations. Okay. Whoa, okay. So I need a 1 meter foundation there to bring it level. Not too worried about pretty at this point. Actually, what I might do is dismantle both of those and then try and build the foundation there so it's level. That's fine. Okay. Now, I probably also want to build here. Now, that's actually pretty close to attached, which is fine. Now, the pure Caterium, I'm wanting it to mine directly into storage, which I could probably put here. So I'm going to want to mine and send it straight into a storage bay. So if I put a storage bay, a storage container here, and I can have it going, the Caterium going into storage. So what I could do is I could say, okay, I'm going to grab all of this Caterium, grab all of this Caterium, grab all of this Caterium. Do I only have 3 running here? No, I've got 4. Grab all of that Caterium. I can put that into the storage, and this is going to be the basis of it. So I want that Caterium then going to a smelter. So I am going to need power here. So I need to run power to over here. But I'm eventually going to get rid of this bridge. Probably, I'm not sure where I want to do my... I think I'm going to do my initial Caterium plant here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a power pole here, just temporarily, and a power pole here. And I'm going to connect that to that one, that to that one. I'm going to come back down here and then I'm going to build here a smelter. Now eventually I think I'm going to want more smelters than this. In fact, what I might want to do and this is why I was thinking about this before, I wonder how many smelters I'm going to eventually want. Can I build there? Yeah, that's not in the way. Because eventually I'll have this feeding directly into the smelters. But at the moment, I'm just going to build 1 smelter. Which I'm just going to build here. Because one will be more than enough. I'm just going to run... Actually, I'm going to get rid of this. And I'm going to try and build the storage container. Because I actually quite like them when they're hanging over. That. Because then I can try and build Mark II belt into there. Now I did get my Caterium back, I'm assuming, and I can put the Caterium into there. And I want this to eventually be smelting Caterium. Now for now, I'm just going to run the power to there. From there to there and there to the smelter. Now, what I think I eventually want to do now is build an upper layer. Because I'm going to want these to run over to the other side. But I'm eventually going to need more, because this is a pure node and it's going to be outputting a lot more than one smelter can handle. So I'm eventually going to want this to be able to send up. So what I think I want to do in preparation for that that's a half two. Is build half twos there. Actually, I didn't want a half two. So now I want half fours. Eventually I will change this layout a bit, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to build half fours that high. I'm going to do the same here, in fact. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Half four, I wanted to change the mode. No. Half from there, and I'm going to go up 3. I want to do the same here. I want to build half 2 there, and then I want to build half 4s there, and then I want to build, probably 1s will be enough, but I like 2s. I like the aesthetic look of 2s. So if I build a half 2 there, and there, then I should be able to build that. 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 Could I build a half to there? Build a ladder get rid of that. Build that. Okay, so that's got me my upper platform. Now what I want to do is if I head back down, from here, directly above that, I want to build a floor hole. Except I can't see it. I think I have to turn this off. No, it's still blowing smoke. Okay, so that doesn't help. No, that did turn off. It just took a bit of time. Because what I want to build is a conflayer floor hole. I think there. Is that directly above? So I can then build. I think a Mark 1 will do me for now. That's not quite right, is it? Because this is only producing 15 per minute. So Mark 1 is fine. And then I want to build a conveyor lift Mark 1 from there up. Then I can turn this back on. That did not come up high enough. Or did it? Why do I not have the conveyor lift here? Okay, now I'm confused. Do I need to build a new conveyor lift out of here? Now, I want this to be a wide, because eventually I'm going to have to move a lot of resources. So actually I probably want this to be 1 meter. I've positioned this wrong. I might be able to do it here. I might be able to do multiple layers though, I don't know. Let's do another one. So this gets me over here. Now I need to have a way of getting up here. So what I want to do is probably build a ladder here. Then I can remove that, 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 and that. I can come up here now. Now, this is only going to run one line for now. So let's just run one line. And this is bringing out Caterium ingots. And then here, I can just make a simple Caterium factory. Which I'm tempted to elevate. Is there a way? So maybe what I need to do is build that, then build that, then I can build a 4 there, get rid of both of those, and then maybe I can build a 4 there. Now the question is, can I now run a conveyor to there? Conveyor belt is too steep. Does that mean I need to run a lifter for that height? Which would feel very, very weird, but maybe I can. That feels very strange. But I literally just want to go up there. So what I want to do is remove that conveyor belt. Remove that. Put a 2-meter ramp in. And now maybe I can run a straight conveyor from there all the way along. And up to here. Great. Now, there's one thing I forgot to do, which I was going to do, which was the smelter is sending Caterium up here. My ladder's here. Actually, my ladder is here. I want to get rid of this other ladder. After smelting, I want to send it into storage for a bit, because I can probably do that over here, actually. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to build a storage container. This will be, again, temporary, but I'm going to build a storage container here, and I'm going to run that into there. So the Caterium is now being stored. Great. Now I want to build this is going to be a simple factory. Like, it's not going to do much at all. I'm going to put, because all it's going to do now is produce one thing. Just one thing. So I'm going to put a constructor. Right in the middle. And I'm going to have the constructor feed into storage. And again, I really like the look of the storage hanging over a little bit. Except I can't do that. So I can build that going into there. I can have the constructor making quick wire. And then I just need to connect that into there. I can build a power pole there. And then I connect that power to there and that power to there. And now this is making quick wire. It's not making much, but I am getting quick wire. See? So now I have quick wire being produced. Not particularly efficiently, but I have the start over here of an expandable base, I think, for when I want to add more smelters and everything to when I can get off that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a ladder here as well, so I can get up there. So this is my path over now. And this is run out of Caterium because this is a manual process, but for the manual process at the moment, I can literally just come over here, grab all of the Caterium, come up here, deposit all the Caterium in here, and this will now start to smelt. And I can expand this out. Like I could put more smelters in here based on this being a pure. I don't know how much it's going to go to, but I'm assuming I'll be able to improve what the smelters can do at some point. Like, this is only taking 45 a minute. I don't know how much I'll eventually be able to get out of that, but I will be able to improve this at one point. And I've got more room over to here, so I'll be able to, when I don't need the storage container or something, I will, and I could potentially add more levels and make more smelters here. So this will eventually work. So if I have to, I can have this middle one as where everything comes to belt over, and then have it run through. And I can even go and get the Caterium that I've got in storage, because quick wire is the only thing it's making, but this is storing Caterium ingots. Well, it will. And I wanted that so if I get Caterium ingots from anywhere, I can run them through. I'm not doing anything with this iron yet. Now, is this good? Probably not. I need to get rid of this copper production, because this is doing absolutely nothing. And I think this is empty. Yeah, this is empty. And that power pole's not connected to anything either. Okay. But that's storing a bunch of copper sheets. But in here, I've got some Caterium ore. So I can grab all that Caterium ore, run back over here, can I build a ladder here? Yes, but that's the wrong spot. Even that's the wrong spot. Building these is a little tricky, isn't it? Am I literally trying to build it through the wall? Yeah, I think I'd need to build it like hard up against the wall. I mean, it looks like there's an overhang. But that gets me up here. And now I've got quick wire being produced at quite a nice rate. I can come down here, I can deposit all this Caterium ore, and we're golden. Well, we're Caterium. Excellent. Is this a good setup? No, but here's quick wire happening. This is all backed up. So I'm still feeding the awesome sink. The rods are being made, that's fine, but I think plates are being overloaded. Yeah. Okay. So I've now got a whole bunch of stuff that's capable of going. It's tempting to make another storage container, you know, although that might be a little awkward. I don't know how I manage 3 together. But what I should do is come over here and grab 50 smart plating. Sealing the container, okay.
Welcome to the Project Assembly Pioneer Progress presentation.
Thank you.
Congratulations, the Phase 1 project part shipment is now ready for delivery. On delivery, Phase 1 will be completed and the distribution platform will be constructed. After completion of Phase 1, the technologies of Tiers 3 and 4 will become available in the hub. Highlights are automated power, steel production, personnel transportation, and many more. Completing Phase 2 of project assembly is your next main objective. New project parts will need to be produced and delivered to the space elevator as you have done previously. Continue to construct, automate, explore and exploit for a better fix-it future.
Wow. Oh, wow, look at that.
Phase 1 of project assembly completed. This is only the beginning of project assembly, the first step towards saving the day. You have performed adequately so far. Reminder, not only is Fix-It saving humanity, it is saving all of Earth, including kittens and puppies. It is statistically likely that you appreciate the continued existence of kittens and/or puppies. Continue the work for their sake. Continue the work for Fix-It. It is time to start the work on Phase 2 of Project Assembly.
Oh my lord, see what's needed? 1,000 of those plus 1,000 other things that I've never seen before. So cool. But that unlocked automated power. How do I remove something from my to-do list? How do I remove something from my to-do list? Oh. I like my current look, thank you. No, I don't want that. How do I remove something from the to-do list? Do I have to go into... Parts, find smart plating, remove from to-do list. There we go. So modular frames take things that I could potentially craft. Copper sheets I had some crafting on. Ooh, I can add more biomass and stuff. Quickwire I'm now creating. Oh, I've got some of these. This is why I did it. I should have put these into the storage. Concrete, which I am producing. Biomass, leaves and wood. Rotors I can make by hand. Power shards. I'm not sure how I make those. Okay, so if I come over here and look, tier 3, coal power. I'd have to make, well, I need to make 50 rotors. And to make rotors, which is what I was doing before, isn't it? No, I'm making rotors. So coal power, vehicular transport also gives me +3 inventory slots. That requires modular frames. Basic steel production. This one's going to be easy though. So enhanced asset security could be quite easy because I'm making all of that. So if I select that as the milestone, I mean, rods and wire I had. Like this is rods, 600 rods. There's 600 rods, 1500 wire. There's a bang going on next door. $1,500 wire, and I need 100. Which I think is this one. So I can do that one really easy. Damage. No, no damage. Okay. Probably should move the hub, but whatever. So 100 reinforced steel plating, which I already had. 600 rods. There we go. And 1500 wire. Player upgraded and new equipment.
The Xeno Basher is a direct upgrade from the Xeno Zapper. In the words of the engineer that first developed this tool, quote, "The Zapper kind of electrocutes things, the Basher straight up smacks stuff, while also electrocuting them," unquote. It is beneficial during encounters with aggressive fauna and has been tested thoroughly. The engineer's noble sacrifice for Xeno research will not be forgotten, whoever they were.
So I'm going to need modular frames and more wire. And to make another Xeno Zapper. So how do I make modular frames again? Let's go get a lot of wire. Having some sort of central storage where everything gets routed would be cool, but I'm not there yet. At some point, I'd also like to elevate these so I can run under them. But again, this is a later issue. So for the Xeno Basher, I now need to make one more. So if I come in here and I unequip this, and then I make another Xeno Zapper, I can now make a Xeno Basher. Which I can then equip. Now, I also don't have an object scanner. Or did I have an object scanner? No, I didn't. How do I set the object scanner? Not that. I don't want to dismantle anything. How do I set what the object scanner is scanning for? Okay, if I go into here and I go to equipment and I go to object scanner, there's the area for a selected item. Great. How do I use it though? It's telling me I can use the object scanner, but it's not telling me how to use the object scanner. So at the moment it's scanning for Mercer-spheres, but I'm assuming it can scan for other things. I just don't know how to tell it to do that. That's not done it. Not E like everything else is. Now I can see down in the bottom left of the screen it's set to Mercer-sphere. But I don't know how to change that. Okay, let's do a Google search, I suppose. Because the game isn't telling you. Using the scanner's radial menu. What radial menu? Because I've unlocked. I thought I'd unlocked a bunch of stuff. Like I can scan... Scannable object, Paleberry. So I've got a bunch of scannable objects, but there is no radial menu. Normally to bring up a radial menu, you hold down E. But that's not working. Hold down right mouse button. Or you right click. Okay. So that's how I did it. That is an insane weapon. Oh, this was running low. This is already running low. I'm burning through power. How low is this stuff? Okay, there's stuff still on the conveyor belts. So they've still got some, but at 4 a minute, 200 is only... Well, 40 is 10 minutes, 50 minutes. So I've only got an hour's worth, and that's with all of the farming I did. Oh my lord. So automated power is definitely something I want to look into. So let's potentially... figure out what the milestone for automated coal power, for which I need those. So, cable is over here. So this is backed up by the fact that it can only use 12 a minute, and I've got heaps. So this is doing fine, even though I'm not actually mining the Caterium. Just going through occasionally and picking stuff is doing fine. So I'm okay for Caterium. I've picked up my cable. I need to pick up the rotors and the... and the steel plating. So I need 150 steel plating. That'll get me there. And rotors, I need 50. Not quite there. Is this backed up, or is it just... No, it's got the materials. It's just not making them very fast. Which is fine. I can make a couple by hand. Although I may have 50 on me. I don't. But I can make a couple by hand. Or I can wait. I'll make a couple by hand. And the unfortunate thing about me playing an hour at a time is all my screenshots for thumbnails seem to be happening at night at the moment, which is not ideal. $150, $50, $500.
Milestone reached. Power production can now be fully automated by burning coal, which has been added to the resource scanner. Water is also necessary to run the coal-powered generator and will require a network of pipelines to be transported from a water source.
Okay.
To assist with locating and identifying water, Fixit has compiled this guide. Water is a somewhat reflective liquid and it may have thick vegetation growing nearby. To test if something is water, try touching it. If it is not solid and does not corrode your suit, it is probably water.
Helpful. Coal. Oh, I can also scan for sulfur and raw quartz, which could all be useful for... But where's coal? Not nearby. There's coal in that direction only. Or there's 3 in that direction. There's 1 in that direction. There's 1 in that direction. So it's probably this direction I want to go. And see if I can find what is over here. Now, this is a long way to go. It's possible I want to do vehicles, but I can collect some fuel on the way because I desperately need fuel. So, until I get my automated power production, does it appear on the map when I do this? Yes, it does. So there's coal over here. So or mineral. I'm just going to call this coal. Select icon. For now, that. Because that's now on the map and I can just run toward that. And I don't need to keep rescanning. But in order to connect that up to my main base, I'm going to have to run power all this distance. That's going to suck. Running power 1,000 meters? That's going to be huge. But projects, right? Am I right? It's going to take me an hour just to run the power cable. I'm getting closer. And the advantage is it seems to be in an area with lots of water. But this is definitely going to make things tricky, isn't it? Because there's a lot of travel to do here. So I may need to make vehicular transport. I'm in the area now. There's one over here. The normal coal node. So that's actually not too bad, I suppose. So normal produces, I think, 60 a minute. Oh, the rest are all over there. They're further away. Oh no. They're not bundled well, are they? There's a normal coal here. Oh, what is going on? Well, there's another one right here, which is also normal. 134 and 123. Okay. So there's 4. And this one's got a rock on it. Oh no, there's more over here. Or is that the ones I just came from? No, there's 6. So it looks like there's 6 nodes in this area. No, it's just 4. There's 4 nodes in this area. And there's water not too far away. Like, here is water. So what I could potentially do is have water coming from here. I don't know how much I need. This is quartz. I need more quartz. It didn't give me much. And then I need to run it. So I could build a power station here, run the coal. I think it was over there. Yeah, so the coal is over there. I could run the coal over here down to here, and then I could build the power station near the water and then run the power back up over here. Okay, that's a long-term plan. I think that's what comes next. I'm just trying to get an idea of distance. It's quite a long way. But 4 normal coal nodes, yeah, 4 normal coal nodes is, what's that, 240 coal. I'll have to do some investigation. Maybe I can do that when I get back to base. I want to stock up my power. This isn't a coal node. I was waiting for that to disappear because it's not actually a coal node. Where's the food? I can't see the thing to loot. There it is. Man, it's going to take a long time. Wood. Okay. So, what I'm curious about now is, first of all, let's put some of this stuff back in storage. So the nuts, bacon, do mushroom, raw quartz. I think the coal. goes here. Oh, and the blue power slug and the power frame can go over here. I need to organize this better, but there we go. Now, what I want to do before I finish is I want to see coal. Can be produced, and it's used to make stuff as well. Oh, holy cow, it's used to make a lot of stuff. But I'm wondering about buildings. So if I look at coal-powered generator, turns coal to boil water. The steam produced rotates turbines that generate electricity. It uses... It doesn't tell me how much is produced or how much is needed. And how do I get water? Water extractor. Gets 120 cubic meters of water per minute. What's head lift? Allows fluids to be transported 10 meters upwards, so I've got to watch out for that. But the generator doesn't tell me how much it generates. $75 megawatts, but I don't know how much coal it needs. So it generates a lot more power, but I don't know how much coal or water it needs. Is there anything in here? No. That's what it takes to construct it. So I'm going to need a lot of rotors. I'm going to need a lot of rotors. But what I don't know yeah, it's not telling me here how much is used in a generator. Here's how I can make coal. Here's how I can make black powder. But it's not telling me, and actually, no, I didn't get any more sulfur, I don't think. No, I didn't. So I need to look for sulfur. So the thing that I've got to question now is how do I find out? I'm going to have to look it up externally, I think, to find out how much coal, because I've got 4 normal nodes, which is 240 coal per minute. Because impure are 30, so 60 at normal. So 240 coal per minute. And then I've got to figure out how much power I can generate with that. Okay. Although at some point I'm assuming I'm going to get new versions of miners. New conveyor lift, industrial storage. So what do I get here? Fix it blueprints, build gun upgrade blueprints. Add Blueprints tab to the Build menu. From the Blueprints tab, pioneers are able to access and organize the blueprints created with the Blueprint Designer. I don't know what that means. Blueprint Designer is used to create custom factory designs and save them as blueprints. Ooh. Now, Logistics Marks 3 gives me 48 slots for storing large amounts of items. Nice. New conveyor belts that can transport more stuff. Stackable pipeline support. Okay. Advanced steel production. Here's where I get Miner Mark 2. So here's where I could extract more stuff. So default extraction rate is 120. Oh, so a Miner Mark 1 can only extract 60, which is what I'm going to get from a normal anyway, so that's fine. Expanded power infrastructure. Power storage. Ooh, power towers. So this will be better for long distance power transfer, but I don't have these. And I need to make steel stuff in order to make them, which is a bit sucky. And then hypertubes. Transport fix-it employees. A hypertube system cannot be powered up or used until a hypertube entrance is attached. So transport systems. Oh my lord, this is crazy. But I need to do steel before I'm doing that. Smelts 2 resources into alloy ingots, which I assume is going to be coal and iron. Oh, this is going to get insane. But at this point, I'm going to end this here. I have no idea what I'm going to do for a thumbnail. Possibly something over at my Caterium. Because that was this session, wasn't it? It feels like so long ago, but I'm pretty certain I built the Caterium this session. So, yeah, I think even though it feels like it was so long ago, this is another long session. Yeah, this was this session, which is a bit weird, but I'm going to end this here. I'm going to save this as session 11. This was absolutely crazy. I am absolutely terrified about what I'm going to have to do to run power and make that coal. But I think that's what's next. At least I think it should be. So I'm going to have to make some of those frames and everything. So I'm going to have to put something together to where I can put those in, whether I have to put storage in manually and manually make the assembler, which it'd be fine. And then, so I could potentially use the assembler that I put in place for making the smart plating. I could potentially use that and then use that to manually make some stuff. Start making some of the reinforced frames or whatever. I've got rotors coming out, and then maybe I need to do another plus session where I go around and gather even more fuel because I'm burning fuel at too high a rate at the moment. Yeah, I think automated power is going to be the next thing, and then figure out how to do that. And if I'm doing it wrong, I learn by doing. Thank you everyone for watching. This has been an insane session. Yeah. And as always, good luck exploiting the planet in a fair and reasonable way. Bye, everyone.